some underground here. TV's too dark in that. So I'm running 3-piece Nomad just for the health aspect of it. 15% health on kill, which is always nice. I got another 4% on one of my other pieces, so 19% total for every kill. One of my guns there, or the weapons, well actually they're both running destructive, so 15% bonus damage on both, and or to enemy armor. So my armor, I think my enemy armor attack or damage or whatever is something like 44 or 48%, depending on which gun it is. One's 19 and one's 23%. Take a quick peek at them here. So yeah, destructive armor, destruction value increased 15%. Running talented just because I run the turret there as well. So I mean, 15% skill power for another 20% or 20 seconds. I mean, who cares if it doesn't stack? It's still an extra 15% and that. So I mean, basically, then my electronics, with skill power, it should roughly work out to like being pushing, 30, 35, 3600, somewhere in there. So that's not bad. And then as well, I've got predatory on there, so 35% health over 20 seconds. So I mean, basically, if you're not going blazing in, then no issue, right? I mean, you get your health right back, right? Or if you go run and get some cover after killing somebody, because that as well as Nomad 15%. I mean, even though I'm running a 3-piece for the Nomad, so it's constant health regeneration anyways, but I mean, sometimes it's not enough, like fire or whatever, right? But nonetheless, right? So that's what I'm running on that one there. It's my second weapon that I'm running. I'm running both assault rifles. The only reason I'm keeping this one in there is just because it's the 23% damage, and it's got perks that I like because you can only change one, right? So I ended up changing one in the middle here and putting talented on there. I've got talented on there because I thought I did have what the heck is the other one called? Commanding. That's what it is. Yeah, it's just because I'm running on lower electronics right now, but otherwise I usually like to have commanding on there, just because you're running the turret and do a kill and it's 20%, runs 20% longer, right? So, and it doesn't say anywhere that it doesn't stack. I mean, shit, sometimes my turret will be up for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and the cooldown's already done, but whatever. So yeah, that's these two here. Mainly I just run the G36 enhanced here. It's minus the only 19% on enemy armor damage. It's pretty damn decent, and to running meticulous there, that's helpful, especially when you're running some of the directives there and waste not, want not, right? I mean, that's a big one. And then too, you can clear out on a crowd. I really hate the when people are running reckless on a piece of just shitty armor. Just for the simple fact of it's basically a fake boost to your DPS. Just due to the fact of, I mean, you're only getting to do 8% extra and you're taking 10% more. I mean, so I mean, even when you're running that, anybody who's running that crap, they're like, oh, look at my my armor mitigation, it's like 48% or 49%. It's like, dude, I could, change my build and throw 100% on there. You know what I mean? But it's, they're not 100%, but 60%, at the cap, right? It doesn't pay, it's better to, like, you don't really want anything lower than 3,000. I mean, anything lower than 3,000, especially when you're running World Tier 5 and you've played for a bit and every piece that you've got is 256, then, I mean, you want a minimum 3,000 for everything, just otherwise it's just not reliable enough. And I've found that, if you don't run your firearms high enough, then regardless of how much your health is, I mean, it just takes forever to kill somebody in half the time. You got to get out of cover to, get a decent shot on somebody, right? So, I mean, take a hit to do a tiny bit of damage just isn't worth it. So, I don't know. That's my feeling on reckless. It's just stupid. So here's my stats. You can see my firearms is blatantly taking up half of my shit here, but whatever, I don't care. The two big things that I'm trying to run with my armor, minus the occasional armor, electronics, or firearms boost. I try to spread those out as well, but not running any more than one to two for armor, just armor, health, whatever, to try and bump up stamina. But at the same time, I like to have my kill XP up a little bit higher. I'd like it to be higher, but it's, and enemy armor damage is the other. And the other thing too is I've got assault rifle damage is bumped up on a bunch, and as soon as I get Predator's Mark, I do believe, Predator's Mark, then that's the true 8% to your damage, so I'd rather take that, because that's, I think, assault and SMG. So then I'll start rolling with an SMG. But right now it's actually, like, SMGs are great for critical hit, but enemy armor damage, especially when you're doing any other kind of mission, I mean, you need to damage the armor. I mean, otherwise, you run any kind of directive and you're dead in the water. So the XP for the kills, as well as running enemy armor damage. So my armor right now, I'm mitigating 45%. So that's, you can't complain about that. It's not bad. I really could care less about skill haste and resource gain. Those, I find those are just wasteful. Just a waste, but whatever. But their enemy armor damage, 51%, 51.5%, and that's with my primary, and that's what, 4% less than my secondary. So when I run my secondary there, like if I'm coming up on an end guy or whatever, or a boss or whatever, then they get a little tougher. You pull out the other one there, and you're doing 55% on top, right? And then 19% health on kill, and then as well, if you're dealing with those, then they're elite, so add another 10%. So I don't know how they're stacking this stuff, but I don't know. it's not bad. It works for right now. I mean, I'm only ranked 33 for underground. I've only been playing here and there, so. And I also only started going into World Tier 5 like a week ago or whatever, 2 weeks ago, something like that. I thought we had to wait for, when we got Survival. I didn't realize that when Survival went for, the Microsoft, even though all the code for PlayStation is written in Microsoft anyways, but hey, it's like splitting hairs, right? Nonetheless, I thought we had to wait until December 22nd for the PS4, but we didn't. So, yeah, I ended up upping my world tier, and it's like, holy shit, now I can run some 256 shit and not 229, because my 229 shit was just garbage in World Tier 5. And it was good in World Tier 4, right? But at the same time, I had like, I don't know, I had 10 or 8 to 10 gear sets, and I'm talking like 4 to 6 pieces of each one, and yeah, I had a good range and combination, to go through, so yeah, I ended up selling all that stuff and going through, and now my stash is starting to build up with 256 stuff. But like I say, I'm still just trying to get decent gear set pieces. I want to run 3-piece Nomad and Predator's Mark 3-piece. I want to run that's what I used to run on World Tier 4 on 1.4. So, and that was, you were pretty decent. You could take your fair share of hits and deal out a fair share of damage. So right now it's pretty decent. And like I say, my crit hit chance like 10%. Like I care less about the critical hit. I mean, like I've had my critical hit, maxed, and it, I've run the 4-piece set, and it doesn't pay. I mean, you got to scope somebody with a marksman rifle to, to get your 100% chance, take off the headshot damage, and in the heat of battle, it doesn't work. In a team of 4, that's one thing. You lay back, you're the marksman, right? But and then there's the other thing too. It's like the Dark Zone people chat, but it seems like you get into the underground and shit, everybody just shuts up and nobody's chatting, right? So it's, the communication aspect is like not there, right? And I mean, everybody wants to play on hard or challenging, and it's like, what's the point? I mean, without the communication, I mean, it's not like before we go in, it's like, okay, hey, John, you run, the Tactician's Authority, gear set, and blah, 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 like, we're running 3 or 4 different gear sets, and, specific, to help the group, like, say, Call of Duty or Modern Warfare or whatever, would do, right, where, but whatever. Just, saying, that's ideally what you need in a good group of, hell, even 2 people, as long as you're cooperating between the 2 of you about what or coordinating about what, what kind of armor you're going to do and what your strategy is, then, I mean, you can run challenging, no problem, but it's when there's, no communication, and yeah, it's whatever. So needless to say, I'm surprised it hasn't booted me so far, because I'm sitting here looking through my shit, and what should we call it? I'm in a mission right now, just right at the end boss, actually. Just haven't opened up the door. It was a high value target for underground or whatever. But yeah. missions aren't the same. I mean, they are the same missions, you know, there's like 6 of them. The only difference is, you know, you'll run through one area for one mission. The next time you run through it, shit, it could be the same area, but it's a different mission. So, you know, you either go forwards or backwards, left or right. Do whichever way through. Sometimes it gets confusing because you're not always going through the same.
Real good.
different rhinos that I have now. And yeah, I run the strikers. They're just because it's... Go for some minimal damage on there. Because that would be nice. And that would come in handy. And it really doesn't drop my... Wow. Takes a little off because there's no boost for assault rifle, but put that on and change that. Give her a dang for it. I try.
Standard data security measures must be followed to maintain operational security.
Hey! Anything here, a guy?
There to sell some junk, bro.
Reminder, only senior personnel have access to environmental controls.
Till later.
I used to hang on to all the crap, but it's like, what's the point? You can only hold so many mods. And really, I mean, just save up some Phoenix credits and buy a fucking blueprint for a 33 or 34, right? Level 33. Well, I guess now level 34 shit, right? But, you know, all my shit before was like level 33, right? Assault rifle damage. 1322. I will take that. This 1334 is the max, so that was nice on the first roll. I will. I cannot deny that one. That's for sure. So there, that puts my. Yeah, that's right right back up where it was. I've lost, what, maybe 1% on my armor mitigation. Maybe. Oh, right, sidearm. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even drop 1%. So let's get our primary. There we go. So we're still at 81%. 44.9. I was at like 45.17. So like I lost 0.2. That's still the same. My enemy armor damage is the same, and instead of 9%, I'm at 19%, so extra 20% for that. And then really, I mean, you fucking drink a bottle of water and you're doing 40% damage to elites, right? The named guys. I mean, that with enemy armor damage, I mean, that's you go up on the bosses, man, and you just destroying them, because I mean the damage is the same whether you're using, you know, even if you're using a turret or any of the other crap. I mean, it's still your shit, right? So you know, yeah, not bad. So, that worked. 400. Keep spending my credits.
About the JTF, the Joint Task Force has made about
Magic
600
pocket.
first responders. They've made a pretty big difference in a lot of neighborhoods since this whole crazy mess got started. But just like food, water, sanity, and clean underwear, the JTF are a handy resource we just don't got enough of. And you know what they say? Nature abhors a vacuum. And my sources tell me somebody's trying to step into that breach. Somebody military. I'm talking PMC people, private military company
Buy
types.
one each.
Who get sent into Manhattan to
Really?
protect the rich folk stuff and found themselves trapped here with the rest of us. So, did they pitch in and play nice? Hell no. These last
Nah,
man
I'm gonna just
battalion
fucking make my
bosses
own.
and their CO, some knucklehead named Bliss, decided Manhattan died made them king. And since they got guns and the tanks and their shiny uniforms, they're taking their nickel and dime fascist bullshit to the streets. Our streets. And if you're in their territory and don't play by
Shitty
their
guns.
rules, you're screwed. And by the by, you listen to
Wow,
those
a
loudspeaker
pistol that
trucks that
only does
loudmouth Bliss keeps running up and down the
15
streets.
to 16.
It's pretty
Wow,
clear. He's
that's
thinking
fucking
bigger
weak.
than just Manhattan.
And a shitty ass submachine gun.
If you see anybody in
Wow.
fatigues and Ninja Turtle gear,
I've
you
already
let
got.
me know. We got a fire in the line, New York. You stay safe.
I want level 34 shit though. That's the thing. I don't want level 33. Because I've already done the magazine. Got one of those. Yeah, I think I've got a vest or something like that too, or something else, just so I can make some cash off shit. You know what? Let's do this. Let's get an electronics and a stamina. Because I know I'm running one of each. I'm sure of it. Let's go craft something. see, my other one was a level 31, 148. I mean, there's a huge freaking difference for what your boosts are. And it looks like I can make a few of them, so. $257, that's a decent gain. Alright, come on, 267. Let's see it. $267. Come on, baby. Stamina is what keeps us alive. Come on. Big money. Fuck. Garbage. God, it just keeps getting worse. Really? Come on. 260. 2. Thank you. Thank you. Few new items. Yeah, same. Just a bit of a boost.
Don't be shy. Come take a look.
36.17, so percent higher than I originally was. I lost my 3% for resource and skill based, but you know, like I said, I'm at 19% for damage to elites, 19% health on kill, and 51.5 on my primary for enemy armor damage, and 55.5 for my secondary. So, you know, I don't care if my secondary is just under 300,000. Like, fuck, those are huge numbers, man. Like, my firearms at 7,000. Like, this shit's just insane. I used to be happy when everything could be close to 4,000. You know, like. But, you know, that's, you know, I just gained. Well, I don't know how much I really gained because, I mean, you know, although, I mean, you get to a point where it's like, yeah, I could put my firearms up to 8,000, but I mean, it doesn't really do any more damage. I mean, yeah, I could load up a marksman rifle and be at like 400 and some thousand, you know, almost 500 grand, you know, like, but what's the point, you know? Like I say, unless you're in a group of like 4 people and you're the marksman that hangs back, then, you know, it's, yeah, whatever. Enough said on that. But I'm also, like I say, I'm running 4-piece Nomad, so I don't know.
Best gear in the city. Check it out.
Takes off my stability, doesn't it? It does. So I might have to look at Striker battle gear for
Hey, New York, it's your Uncle Ricky.
for a backpack.
We need to talk, because I'm afraid I'm starting to lose it. This shit I'm hearing, well, let's just say it sounds more like something out of an airport paperback than real life. And no, I cannot believe I just referred to our present state of post-biological terrorism apocalypse as real life. Okay.
I haven't done anything of this, so
I have not yet been able to confirm this firsthand, but I have reports of groups of people in containment suits roaming the city with flamethrowers, burning any and all evidence of virus contamination, properties, bodies.
Hey, I got a target for you.
Been there? They're looking it up. Yeah, I hear all sorts of theories on who's responsible. Some say city workers like, I don't know, sanitation or something. I also heard government scientists, like the DCD cleaning up its mess. These nut jobs are covered head to toe in hazmat gear with homemade flamethrowers. Now, maybe it's fucking
whoops.
aliens at this point. I believe anything. I know how it sounds.
Did not mean to put that in there.
Paranoia is the only sane response for the last few weeks. I'm trying to chase down something
Alright, so I got an Alpha Bridge mask.
know about it. Just keep your eyes open, NYC.
Predator
Agent,
mark.
I got something for you.
Just because you're paranoid, don't mean they ain't out to get you.
Predator mark. Predator mark. Oh. Damn it. I'll take that back. So, now we got that one. Stamina electronics. Well, I need at least 3,000 for that.
Agent,
Fuck, I really don't like how it fucking welds.